How is everybody doing? Welcome to another fabulous installment of Peace Freaks. I am Nikki P, here as always with my lovely wife and co-host Lizzie. How are we doing, Lizzie?
We are here doing the Freaky Peace Freaks thing.
And we are freaky. Know what we should do? I should totally message Ludacris because we're tight like that and see if I can get freaky things
Okay, you do
to
that.
use as our intro.
I would be all about that.
I would be all about that too, but only in my delusions are me and Ludacris tight.
Yeah, you guys aren't actually boys.
In my world, like in my fantasy world, I just go hang out with Ludacris and T-Pain on the weekends.
Right, that makes sense. Maybe
It's-
one day, baby. Maybe one day.
It would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, anyways, how are you doing today, babe? You doing good?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get back into the swing of things because life happens and it'll throw you off your rhythms, and then you gotta get back on that horse. Or mixing all my metaphors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like being on horses.
Sure.
Like riding things,
I know that I do know about you.
Weirdos.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wanted to start things out a little bit differently today. Because we're trying to feel out how this whole Peace Freaks thing's going to work. We're using a whole bunch of new equipment here.
That we are.
Or removing a whole bunch of equipment to do what we're doing. So we're going to see how this goes. Hopefully it'll sound better than the last episode for most parts. At least the beginning here. We'll get the whole thing figured out soon enough. So it's been an interesting weekend so far. It is, Monday? And we're
Yep.
recording,
Yep.
trying to get this intro, outro material done for this fabulous interview that we did with Tyler Colford.
It was pretty dope. Yeah.
You say black people things, and it's endlessly funny to me.
I know, because I don't say them right, because I say them like a person who doesn't say them, because I don't normally say them.
I
but
know.
I just find it amusing to say.
It's adorable because it's so fucking funny.
Okay.
Anyways, so I feel like we can't not talk about this bit. This
Oh,
past
God.
weekend, we had Bernie Sanders announced a rally.
Yeah.
And apparently the great Public Enemy is going to be performing.
Right. Except for.
Which came as news to Flava Flav.
Right.
Now, I'm not particularly a Flava Flav guy. He has been a part of reality TV too much for me to actually respect him.
Yeah.
But he came out and said, well, no, I'm not doing this. So maybe this is Chuck D's thing and he can have whatever political stance he wants. But it ain't mine. To which they promptly kicked Flava Flav out of Public Enemy.
Oh, did they really? I did not hear that.
Yes, as of yesterday, Flava Flav was kicked out of Public Enemy so they can support Bernie Sanders.
That's some.
So now, not only is
dumb
communism
stuff right there.
not only is communism fucking up our country, it's fucking up great musical acts.
Man, why do you guys got to bring politics into everything and just ruin stuff? It's annoying.
Well, Liz, let's not pretend that Public Enemy wasn't a political band in the first place. It just is now. It just seems like everyone's politics is skewed so fucking far left that just not supporting an open socialist seems like you're the devil.
I guess.
Like, I'm sure, if I remember correctly, they had like their own issues outside of this, which is probably the real reason he wasn't performing, because they don't like each other.
Right.
But man, oh man, what
That's
a tale.
Crazy.
You're a black person. What are your experiences with Public Enemy?
I don't really have experiences with Public Enemy. Honestly, I have more experience with Flavor Flav as a
reality TV
personality, because I was like big into VH1 when Flavor of Love like dropped the first time. So I gave it a shot and it was awful. And I just never really looked back. I think they continued to make the series. Like they did a couple more seasons, I think.
Just throwing all those beautiful white women at Flava.
There were like an endless variety of train wrecks that were the contestants on that show. It was
You'd have to be a train wreck to want
was
to marry
amazing.
a fucking 70-year-old dude. He's got to be.
I like just so many things about him were just very unappealing, and I'm like, why are you
Yeah,
guys
boy.
competing for this person? Like, I get that he's wealthy, but
I don't even know. Is he that
really,
wealthy?
I don't know.
I
I
think
mean,
Chuck D made most of the money off of that shit.
and frankly, he's doing a reality TV show, which I'm assuming he gets money out of. So, you know, usually a reason why people do
I'm going to
those.
be honest. At this point, I think Flav is probably more well known for the endless stream of fucking samples from that show that that everybody uses as voice drops on their fucking
Well,
podcasts.
yeah, there is that.
Yeah, boy.
Pretty much. And that's why you do it, I guess.
I guess. Yeah, it was the whole thing is just fucking weird to me. It's disappointing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna beef about whatever they're gonna beef about because they're '80s rappers, but Public Enemy did have some great political, fuck the man songs back in the day.
Any of them make it on your 365 list?
Absolutely, a
Yeah.
bunch of them are on there. Go
Nice.
check out freedomsong365.com. Obviously, Fight the Power or whatever it is on there.
Right.
Um,
That makes sense.
what is it? Is it the 911 song that they do?
Oh, 911 is a joke? Is that
Yeah,
them?
911 is a joke, is them too.
Okay. Nice.
And to me, it's all really interesting stuff. It's so weird, like you have your people like Chuck D, and they're gravitating to centralized power, despite the fact that like you're the fight the power guy.
Yeah. That is kind of remarkable that they're, like 911 is a joke, and basically, they didn't sing the song Fuck the Police, but I feel like that was, some of the sentiment that they had going on. And then they're like, yeah, let's support the guys that are going to, install a lot more police to enforce all of these laws they're going to impose
Well, see,
on us.
they were always more overtly political. Like I look at NWA as being cultural.
Okay.
Like they were basically talking about being drug dealers.
Okay.
NWA came out, Public Enemy came out straight at like the political elite, and like they took that route. Like they weren't talking about slinging dope. They're talking about going out and living life, and you can't call the fucking 911 because they're going to show up. Like they were
Gotcha.
going straight after the political structure, and I always appreciated that about them. So, regardless, I couldn't not mention it. Like I still in my head of heads imagine us having something to do with music on this show.
Yeah,
'Cause-
there you go. I
If
mean,
for no other reason than I want to talk about it.
right. That's where you're at. And that makes sense.
So, we also the core of this episode is going to be our interview with Tyler Colford. Tyler is a repeat guest. We had him on way back in the day, and we talked about his career as a politician and a rapper in Vermont. This particular interview, I remember mostly being me just bitching about how much I hate what they're doing to Ross Ulbricht,
Yeah.
and then picking on Tyler for being stoned and forgetting.
Well, he's got a track out to support Ross, so it was a worthwhile thing to talk about. And he's got some music that's coming. We talked about a lot about the music that's coming when it does finally get
Tyler's
ready to come on out.
just good people. I love
He
Tyler.
is good people. It's always fun to talk to Tyler and
You'll-
see Tyler. It's cool.
You'll get a good sense of Tyler from the conversation we have.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, let me remind all of you to go check out upgradetheshow.com, where you can help us grow the show, feed money into advertising. It'd be nice to just be able to not have to pay out of pocket to do the show.
Yeah,
That'd be
that'd be
sweet.
cool.
You got bonus shows. There's a lot of things we got going on. I will have like the full archive of the newest one that we have going on, Anarchy in Space, which you heard last week because I'm trying to fucking pay my bills and was too busy to actually do a show last week.
Yep. So you guys got like the sneak peek at the Anarchy in Space, which is normally
Yeah.
behind the paywall.
So if you're into sci-fi, like I think we're going to be going a while, or at least we've got at least 4 seasons of The Expanse that we can do on this show.
Nice.
And I got a bunch of other shows I wanted to talk about. He's probably going to make me watch all of Battlestar Galactica. I get an impression.
Oh, see, I might have to jump on the Battlestar Galactica, at least watch it with you, because I keep hearing about stuff. Like all of my Trekker friends are like, dude, you haven't seen Battlestar Galactica? And I'm like, no, it looked a little like
Well, Liz, which one?
Not my thing. I know, that's true. There's like an original, and then there's the new class, like Saved by the Bell.
No, I believe they just remade the show. Like the
Wait,
Starbucks in it twice.
what?
Yeah, no, I mean Starbuck, like, because that was one of the things. They made Starbuck a woman in the sequel or in the new version of it when they did it in like the '90s. It's
Oh,
originally
okay.
from the '70s, I believe,
Yeah,
and then they remade
yeah.
it in the '90s.
Man, what am I?
And
Maybe
I
I'm
heard that
thinking of
I heard they're
Babylon
both.
5.
Babylon 5 was okay. I watched that one a little bit when I was younger. I
Yeah.
always I'm gonna be honest. I found all the made for TV sci-fi of the '90s really fucking boring. Like
You're like, this is weak sauce.
yeah, I get that you love Star Trek: The Next Generation, but it was always really boring to me.
I
Like
get
it's
it. It's
definitely not
okay.
my thing.
It was a lot of people talking about philosophy and stuff. I get it. It's cool.
Yeah, no, they don't. That's the problem. They didn't talk about philosophy enough, and they didn't do enough science fiction stuff enough. Mostly, they just kind of hung around on spaceships, not doing cool space shit. I guess more importantly, not doing realistic space. Maybe it was the fact. Maybe I've just always loathed communism so much that the entire idea of that world didn't make sense.
Okay.
Maybe that's all it is.
And maybe I just wanted to buy into the space fantasy.
I think you just were raised in a family that wanted to believe that that was possible. I don't know.
There you go.
Imagine not having to not pay your rent anymore.
Just gonna leave that alone. Anyway.
Yeah. So you can also go to, obviously, peacefreaks.com, spell it whichever way you like. We'll get you to the same place. And check out the show notes that Lizzie does where you can see all the stuff we talk about and find out more about our guests. Find out all the music that we play during the show is also another one, which I'm super pumped. This past weekend, one of my favorite bands that I have permission to use their material finally put their stuff up on Spotify.
The frunk.
Yep, good old Heechaw Frunk. And so, Liz, when you're doing the music and choosing the songs to put in this episode, make goddamn sure you put at least one, maybe two in
Oh,
there.
yeah. No, that's gonna happen. That
'Cause-
was always gonna happen.
Okay. So, without further ado, I guess, let's cue one of those Frunk songs and get into our interview with Tyler Colford. Well, welcome, Tyler Colford, or Crypto Man, to Peace Breaks. How are we doing today?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. How are you guys doing? It's good
Good,
seeing
really
you
good. Yeah,
Not as
it's good
good
to
after
as
see you
you.
too, man.
Porkfest. No,
Yeah, we have our camping buddy here, folks, from
Yeah.
our summer trip to Porkfest. I'm sure I remember more of it than Tyler does, but
that's
Quite
probably
possibly.
true.
I would imagine you had a much better time than I did.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, after a few days of walking around barefoot, it kind of started getting started hurting.
But did you lose a $600 cell phone in the hills of Vermont along a highway on your way there?
That's true. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, geez.
Put a damper on the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
what you gonna do?
never live it down if we're Liz.
Yeah, there's that. It was a great first impression for us to Tyler though. Like I'm like, he's just walking around in the forest. He's a hobbit. This guy's a hobbit. This
Yeah.
is great.
And Liz loves hobbits.
I
There's
do.
that. So, well, we you emailed me a couple months ago and we said we got to get you back on because number one, it's been far too long since we had one of our few libertarian musicians on.
Yep.
But you also said, hey, how about we wait until I have this new song coming out?
Yeah.
And then we wait, and it becomes far after the time period in which you had the song come out.
Well, no, I mean, I had already finished this song and I'm it's still not out. The free hashtag free Ross.
It's still not out, bro.
No, March 27th. It's
Oh, okay.
available for pre-order, but it's not out yet. But I
Okay.
do have Bootstraps that just dropped.
Okay.
And actually,
Nice.
I finished Bootstraps after finishing hashtag free Ross, which Dan Smots did the from the System of a Down did the snippets of um John's mom being interviewed by uh Odie Odermatt from Lions of Liberty. So it's a
Damn, man.
whole crazy tie-in. Dan Smots was supposed to do the cover. I don't know if I'm calling him out or not, but I thought I paid for him to do the cover, and I just got the sound done and mastered, and that's cool. But I had to improvise.
Okay. Well, we'll have to hit him up and be like, Smots, but man, I hear you're shaking our boy down. So,
Yeah.
well,
I
why
was
do you?
happy with it.
I mean, sonically, I enjoyed what I heard. So,
Yeah,
Good stuff, man.
Cool, thank you.
So what inspired you to write a song about Ross? That's the thing I'm really curious about.
This is the crazy thing. So, I actually didn't write it about Ross.
Oh, dude, weak.
I know. So, at any rate, I wrote it. It was about victimless crimes, and he's in there for a victimless crime. Everything like lined up and stuff. And then when I already had this song written before I went to Porkfest. When I met his mom, Lynn, and I really got like the lowdown on what actually happened to him. I had heard about the Silk Road, and I had heard like a raw deal, but I really didn't know the whole story about what happened.
That like all of the agents that are a part of it are now in jail for fucking being criminals.
Yeah. For basically like embezzling a bunch of money from the Silk Road while they were actively acting as dredge pirate robbers or from the Princess Bride movie.
They did
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
They did a lot of lying and raw dealing in there.
Yeah.
What's terrible, the thing that always gets me about Ross that I hate to think about is the fact that Ross is the same age I am. And so, this is a dude who fucking did nothing wrong, and all he did was want to be peaceful and allow people to do peaceful shit. And, here I am, I'm married, and I've got a beautiful little girl, and I'm living my life. And he doesn't get that. We're fucking doing nothing more than just giving a shit about people. And it's there's very few things I think politically that affect me as much as Ross Ulbricht's case does, because it's so fucking close to home. Like had I been the guy that kind of stumbled upon libertarianism a few years earlier than I did, like in college as opposed to as an adult, that's some shit I would have probably been dabbling around with.
Right.
I could be literally right where he is. Like the timelines add up. So it's frustrating.
I mean, I was just thinking like if I have all sorts of crazy ideas like theme parks and all, like my ambitions are crazy. My procrastination's even crazier. But if I knew more on like coding and stuff like that, that would definitely be something I would be into. I'm a procrastinator.
Well, I mean, neither one of us is in jail for 2 lifetimes, so I guess it worked out in that department for us.
Yeah.
But it is sad to think that somebody else was not so lucky.
Yeah. But I figured, should put more spotlight on his situation, and also I sent Lynn an email saying that like anything I make off this song, I said 50% would go to the Freqs Foundation to cover costs or whatever for like the beat. But now I'm thinking like it's like 100% of any of the profit that comes from that song. It's going right into trying to get him out.
So either Tyler is incredibly wealthy or doesn't think anyone's going to listen to the song.
Nah.
No.
I'm definitely not incredibly wealthy, but I'm trying to get this song out as far as I possibly can. I'm a procrastinator though, which is sad, but I'm really trying. I've got a list of different outlet medias that I'm going to try and get this song out to, not just the podcast, but you know.
What's
Nice.
what's
So
the
this is
biggest
like the
media
start.
you're trying to go for?
Oh, I've got Rolling Stones. Like I'm just trying to think of angles on like how to reach them, like as far as copywriting goes, because you kind of want to make them feel like you're benefiting them or something, you know, like and you want to make it sound personal to them, like you're not just hitting them up on the fly like, hey, I got this new song that's just
That they don't care about.
it's
They
weak.
don't know who you
Exactly.
are. Give a
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
I mean, personal interest is sure as hell a way to sell something. So you got that.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, what else have you been working on since we last talked? It's been has it been 2 years, Liz?
A year. A
yeah.
year.
I think
About
it's
a
been
year.
a year. Yeah.
It's been at least a year, and I'm pretty
Okay.
sure it's been longer than that.
Well, as far as interview wise go, what was it around Thanksgiving?
Maybe.
Like not this
Not the past, yeah.
but
it would have been the
yeah,
one before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liz
So it's
keeps
been a
track of that
minute.
kind of stuff. Yeah. So what have you been going? What have you been doing? How's life been treating you?
I'm
You
doing
running for
pretty
office
good.
again? Like
I
you?
am.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
I'm running for state senate in
Okay.
Windham County, Vermont. I did a couple interviews about so they're looking to pass tax and regulate marijuana, cannabis. I think it says marijuana on it, but anyway, they're trying to pass this bill that does the makes it legal for sales, and the bill's horrendous. But am I a purist or what? You know, I just think it's gonna have a lot of black market issues and stuff. But at any rate, so I wrote an op-ed about that, and I was on the Cannabis Heals Me podcast. I don't know.
Which is also part of the Liberty Hippie Podcast Network. Go check them out, folks.
Nice.
That's a good tie-in. Yeah, and I don't know. I've just been working on a few op-eds, running for state senate. I'm working on getting it's not a gun sanctuary because that wording's kind of problematic. It's a Second Amendment gun resolution for my municipality that we're going to try and pass it at town meeting, which should be interesting. I'll be
you live in
prepared.
ultra lefty Vermont, right?
Yeah, but we're the only, like, my town was the only town in Vermont that I think voted for Trump. Like, the plurality voted for Trump or whatever.
Wow.
It's kind of weird.
I'm a dreamer. You're a
hang out with a bunch of Republicans. Republicans, is that what they are? I don't know.
Interesting.
I'm trying to make up funny names for things. Republicans sounds good, right?
Oh man, I didn't realize there were
Tyler can't
any
say that because Tyler runs as a Republican when he runs.
Trump voters in Vermont, so that's really interesting to me.
There are a few.
Yeah.
Not from Brattleboro though. That's where I get housed.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm working on getting 3. It's about 3 towns. They're all neighboring towns, my town and 2 others that we're trying to pass gun resolutions.
What's that process like? It just sounds like a huge pain in the ass.
It's actually pretty simple.
Wait, do I have to show up someplace?
Yeah.
Already,
that's too
already
much.
too much fucking
That's too
work.
much.
I have to be somewhere. Can't I just send them strongly worded letters from the comfort of my own home in the middle of the night?
You actually probably could, but
Are the meetings
might not be as effective.
So are your town hall meetings at like 3 a.m? Like that, I might be more apt to do it then.
No.
Fucking you daywalkers. What's wrong with people?
And sometimes it can get pretty it can get in depth, and like a lot of the spending issues, people just go back and forth and back and forth, and it'll start at like I think it's 8 or 9, and it won't get done until 2 or 3, depending on.
Wow.
That is a wow.
So people get heated at the town hall meeting, and they're like, "We're not leaving till we resolve this."
No, a lot of people leave like before
Okay.
the end. They like vote until a certain, like they'll have their issue that they're really like, this is important to me.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it gets to that and they vote for it or against it, then they just get up and leave.
Okay.
But we break for lunch, which is usually like hot dogs or something.
Keeping it real classy.
It's so it's funny to think of any a government sanctioned thing doing hot dogs. Like, I assume that they all do lobster for every event.
Yeah, no.
Oh God, no.
Maybe if I get rich and famous, I'll start doing that for the town.
They just come up with creative ways to waste money. That's what they're there for, right?
Basically, yeah. I still have trouble telling my mom that, who's a public school teacher, but
oh gosh.
Let me talk to her. Well, I'll break her of that habit.
Well, it's not like your mom wasn't kind of in that realm either. There, Nikki.
My mom still works in the school systems.
I know she does.
I mean, because you know what your in is on that, right, Tyler?
What's that?
You have to get her to. You have to start with the power struggle that she has to deal with, because there's not a single teacher out there that is going to go, oh, I love how much administration I have to deal with.
Yeah.
And I think that they're paid exactly what they're supposed to be paid. Because at the end of the day, like if you take the administrative costs out of the public school system, you'd be surprised how quickly that number drops. Because guess who hasn't gotten raises in fucking ages? Like that's I guess my big thing. Like when Republicans talk about the school system, they try and blame it on like teachers being paid too much for like an easy job. But it's not it. It's because at every level of education, the fucking the administration has swelled, and like the ancillary, all of the people in office buildings, they all get paid better and better, and there's more and more of those positions. Meanwhile, people like your mom, they get the shaft. Like they get fucked left and right. They don't see raises. They just continue going in because their job is, they believe in actually helping kids and shit. So nobody fucks them over more than the school system.
Yeah, but and like the Vermont state promised teachers like pensions and stuff, and they're in the black for now. But there was definitely some funding scares for the past 10, 15 years.
Well, and are they actually in the black, or are they getting, basically getting a bailout from the state? So the state's in the red, so they're in the black.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the state that made those commissions or promises or whatever.
Yeah.
So more boondoggles.
Just passing them bucks.
And also that your kids listen to orders better. Go
Yeah.
off to fight in their wars. You can go to jail for being innovators.
Yeah, that's just so weird.
Sad.
But so if you could have one innovation that you think is worth going to jail for 2 lifetimes for, what would it be?
Oh God.
Would that innovation be like, even though I went to jail, would it still operate?
Sure. Because I mean, like the Silk Road just keeps moving even as it is, right?
Yeah, true.
Like it keeps getting restarted and moved. I mean, it's I don't know if it is what it was, but where there's a will, there's a way.
You can't kill the idea, that kind of thing.
I'd probably be. I don't know if this would be much of an innovation or whatnot, but like the ability to grow like any plant whatsoever that you want
in any environment.
Well, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Or like, how about
and stuff?
Or like, how about the ability to grow any plant you want out of concrete?
That'd be an innovation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, we're just growing corn off the side of buildings and shit.
Oh boy, all I can picture right now.
He's like, that's not what I was thinking of growing on buildings.
all I can picture right now is Puff Daddy going, I want to put my whole house in this shit. Well, he's on a Jimmy.
Furry walls.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it'd be corn silk.
Right. That's awesome.
Stroke the corny walls.
Oh boy.
Let's see here. What would be a fun one? If an innovation that I'm willing to go and do 2 lifetimes in jail for.
Well, the thing that's crazy to me is there are so many innovations that are out there that you just hear about them, and then they get squashed by like lobbyists or
tons of shit gets squashed. Like we talk about it in Free Market's Green Earth all the time. Like there are so many technologies out there that would make the world a better place, is from like a green perspective, that they just bury. Like they just they never get heard about. Like you'll see a Facebook post about it and then never again.
Because some big guy in an office is just like, oh no, that's gonna take our market share.
But that's
get rid of that thing.
That's the thing about Ross that's so fucked up, is what he did scared them so much that just sweeping it under the rug wasn't enough. Yeah. What he did changed the paradigm.
Revolutionary.
It changed the paradigm so much. They had to make an example out of him so that no one would ever try it again. I don't know how well it worked either.
Yeah.
I think it just poured the heat on. It'll be huger too. That's the idea. So is the Crypto Man thing have anything to do with crypto? I think you explained that it didn't last time you were on, but does it now?
I wish I could say yes and just be like, shoot out a link, be like, yo, donate me cryptocurrency here. I do
can help you set that up.
That would be awesome, because I do want to my name is perfect for it.
I know.
And I don't know why I didn't jump on the train when I was listening to Free Talk Live, like 15 years ago, when it was like in the low dollar zone.
How's it going? This is Nikki P, and I wanted to thank you for stopping by our neck of the woods. I sure hope you enjoy listening to Peace Freaks as much as we enjoy making it. Now, as much fun as it is right now, I know it can be a lot more fun, and the way to make it more fun is to grow that community. Unfortunately for us, growing anything organically on the internet is a thing of the past, and as much as I'd like to dump Irma's college fund into growing the show, that would make me a bad parent. So if you want to help create a bigger, more badass community, stop by upgradetheshow.com. We have monthly and yearly fiat options and one-time and yearly crypto options. But don't go thinking an upgraded community is all you're going to get. All patrons of the show get access to the Freedom Choir, chock full of bonus shows, and our Zoom link to watch our interviews live. So head over to upgradetheshow.com and help us upgrade this freaky little community. The guy who turned me on to coin payments is now in jail, in prison, for like sexual assault and the craziest case I've ever heard of.
What?
Yeah. Well, we can't
It's-
talk about it, but
Okay.
Yeah.
we'll just say that he's I guess I got a weird news article the other day. But he's the guy who showed me how to set up coin payments. And it's actually pretty easy. So essentially you just send people a fucking link and boom. And you could probably
There you go.
a redirect. So when they go to cryptoman.com, it just goes to a link
There
where
you go.
they can donate in
Give
whatever
me
crypto they
some
want to.
crypto.
I mean, yeah, I feel like that's kind of, a layup right there. That's what people want to do. They're like, oh, okay, crypto, man. I should buy crypto from this guy, or I should give him some crypto. Like, crypto should be involved here somehow.
Well, and so next level the shit. You when we met you at Borkfest, you were actually handing out trading cards. I think yours were like you and like or Wolverine or some shit. Like,
Yeah, I was Wolverine, and my partner in rhyme, Idos, was Spawn.
nice. You don't think you had any of the
Nice.
Spawn
Yeah,
ones?
those are
Because I
fun.
would have loved that one. I love Spawn.
I didn't have the Spawn.
I don't think you had them when we were up there. I think you just
Alright.
had the other ones. I think you got
Yeah,
high and
'cause
left them on the
I-
counter.
I was like, nah, fuck Idos.
Yeah. So why isn't there an actual Crypto Man comic like that you have?
I'm
Like,
working on that. I'm
Oh.
I'm writing one not as we speak, because I'm talking into the computer right now. But
Right.
I'd be impressed if you could pull that one off. So
I'm definitely working on it. Actually, the album that will hopefully be dropping 420, called Stir Crazy. It's 100% produced by Stir Crazy of Magic Ninja Entertainment. That's Twisted's record label. That is sort of being lined up as like a narrative. It's being narrated by Todd McLaren, who he's narrated Altered Carbon, the SM Sterling books, Emberverse, and Nantucket series.
okay,
Cool.
Yeah. So,
what's it about? Like, what's the narrative? Give us a preview,
all
a
right.
hint.
Yeah. So, Crypto Man, myself, and Idos, we basically talk about Graham Hancock shit and and how
Of
it'd be
course
pretty
you do.
cool, and how it'd be kind of cool to like go back in time and like see these ultra old civilizations and shit. And Idos is sort of schizophrenic, so he has this altered ego called Dr. Dissector, which makes a whole bunch of like different crazy equipment and stuff. Like we have a translator. It kind of looks like
Is Dr. Dissector like a supervillain?
It's kind of like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yes, so like he's a bad guy.
He's a mad scientist.
I want him to be a bad guy. Rewrite your goddamn book now. Make him the bad guy.
He could make equipment for like just like evil things, but then Jinx Inc. we're like, yo, we can use this shit for good.
Look, I
Nice.
just want you to have at least one storyline where he's like doing shit for the bad guys.
Oh, he could be like Kriegel on Archer.
Okay. Oh God.
Krieger.
Make him one of the
Yeah,
boys.
that one. Yeah.
Oh God. Kriegel.
He has my. I feel like that's a combination of him and Smeagol from the Lord of the Rings.
The precious.
The precious. Could anything make me more erect than the precious?
Oh God.
God damn it,
That
man! I
would
can
be
only
where
get so
Krieger
erect.
would take that. That's true.
So,
That's where everything goes with Krieger.
Wow.
Okay, so how about this? Like
Yep.
maybe if you could like create like the actual holographic girlfriend that Krieger has in that show, you think that would be worth 2 years or 2 lifetimes?
Could she spend time
Like-
in jail with you?
Maybe, I don't know. Conjugals can happen, right? That's something they can work out.
That is a thing they do.
I'm imagining like you could end the incel problem with that. Like boom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a
like,
breakthrough.
And you could
That's true.
probably get them handed out like you could probably get them like assigned like for medical reasons. Like how about that?
Get a prescription for a virtual girlfriend.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like they're doing with pets now?
Kinda, yeah, like a support girl, video girl,
A
support
support
girl.
anime girl.
I mean, if they're
Yeah,
gonna make
there
fucking
you go.
prostitution illegal, then they should absolutely make, holographic girlfriends like prescription.
Man, you thought going to your dispensary was hard for this.
Was that a penis joke, Liz?
No, I'm just saying, you'd have to go to a video girl dispensary or something, right? You'd have to
Well,
jump through whatever
they'd be
hoops.
giving them out at GameStop all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
But just imagine how much less rape there would be in the world.
I mean, there's that possibility.
Look, I mean, prostitution being illegal is what makes a lot of that happen.
Yeah,
Like
and
it-
some people are just fucked up. But
What are your thoughts on prostitution there?
I feel like
I know that how many have you paid for?
oh, none. I haven't even been to a strip club.
Why not?
because they're dumb.
Just for the record, I don't like strip clubs. I'm in them on the occasion just for work and what I do. But like I go in a lot of times during the day, so I get to see the B
They're kind of
squad.
sad during the day.
It's more than kind of sad during the day.
It's just legit but no. I went like a couple times and my boss was paying, so
So Tyler's
how they
never
rolled.
seen the lunch crew at a strip club. There's
Nope.
so many things about life that he doesn't quite know yet then.
Just
I
trying to work
guess
their way
not.
through college, dude. That's all that's going on.
Yeah, she's doing that. She goes home, puts the kids to bed, and then hits up her job at Wendy's.
Yep. Tough out there, man. It's tough out there.
So do they have strip clubs in Vermont? Is that like a thing? Or?
No, it's not in Vermont. I guess the closest one's Castaways, which I think is Connecticut.
Well, at least he knows
Massachusetts.
where the
I don't know.
closest one is.
That's interesting, though. I didn't realize. I mean, I guess, yeah, you can make whatever laws you want. So,
But
probably are
actually,
states where that's not a thing.
these lawmakers are making it hard for me to campaign because there's a bill being put forward for some psychedelics being decriminalized, and then
Mhm.
there's a bill to decriminalize prostitution. I'm like, what the hell? I was different on these issues.
Oh wow! Now it's becoming like the
Well,
thing that
you know
everybody
what?
wants to talk about.
That just means you were the first.
Yeah.
That's all that is. That's them saying, "Hey, we liked what he did. He got the imaginations of the public, rolling over time. So we got to follow his lead." Congratulations to you.
It's like Bernie Sanders to the Democrat Party.
A little bit.
What they're just going to continue to try and steal your thunder,
Yeah,
lie and cheat to make it so you can't run for office.
basically. Although I guess I am the only Republican running for those things.
There you
That's
go.
different.
Yeah.
How does the
GOP think of me?
Yeah, how do they take all that?
I think they respect my input, because I try and, even though I'm like for these things, I try and take it on like a moral angle. And when I talk to them, like a lot of them are kind of religious, um, and I can sort of use a little bit of scripture with them to make them sort of see my point of view.
I see. What kind of scripture?
Nice.
Oh, just like how Jesus didn't like condemn uh the ladies of the night.
Yeah, he spent
He
all of his
like
time with them.
he broke bread with them and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure like the only people he really condemned were like the Pharisees and the tax collectors.
Yeah, no, all of his time was spent with dude. Every time you turn around, he's like fucking turning water into wine and hanging out with whores. Like, I bet he was a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, no, I mean, those are the people who had problems with him were the ones who were like, no, we're like the awesome people and you guys all suck. So
Well, they were like trying to be outwardly moralistic when really
yeah,
they were really duplicitous.
yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. Look at you rattling off the $10 words over there.
I guess I'm racist now,
You
using those
are, but
big words.
that's fine.
No, you're good.
You can't do anything about the fact that you're white.
I'm pretty sure duplicity is in the Bible anyway, right? That's one of the Bible
No,
words.
that's a movie by Kevin or Michael Keaton, right?
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good movie.
That is, oh man, oh, multiplicity, yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's more than two.
Yes, it gets
Gotcha.
really
Damn.
weird.
Is it a weed comedy?
It's a lot of Michael Keaton in one movie.
You can
that's all I'm
watch it
saying.
high.
Are you one of those John
Have you ever
Stewart-
smoked
You ever
gazed
looked at the
at the
back?
star?
You ever looked at the back of a dollar bill? You ever looked at the back of the dollar bill on weed?
Yeah.
Down they go. Blue team go.
Well, the earth ran around the sun. Well, the moon went down and the sun came up.
I don't know. Weed's always. I don't like doing things on it. Like when I've done it, I just like to kind of sit in my room and listen to music,
Hmm.
and then like chase dragons and stuff. Doing stuff
Where did
just
the
seems complicated.
dragons come from?
Well, I
His
like
imagination.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm with you now.
yeah. Acid is way better for chasing dragons, but
I bet. I'm just saying I tried it once and there were no dragons. There was no chill. I was not impressed. Okay.
yeah, you had some shitty weed. That's all that is. And probably no angel dust.
Well, yeah, obviously.
So, what do you got coming up in the future that you're like really really amped about? Aside from apparently a Senate run again.
Well, definitely the Stir Crazy album, but later, so, okay, this is pretty ambitious, but my mom has a decent amount of land, and I'm gonna see if I can use some of it to sort of landscape a grove,
Okay.
like a druidic grove where I can have like a smoke hut and we can do like clam bakes of cannabis. Something like that with like raspberries, blackberries, and oaks and stuff.
Nice.
A forge.
You know where to send the copters, feds. You heard it here.
Yep. A forge so I can like start working with metal, even though that's what my day job is.
Wait,
And
so are you just trying to make like a D&D like place out in the
area, yeah,
Like he's like, I'm gonna be forging
You have the
swords.
druids over here.
Like we're gonna be hanging out with fucking real swords in my druid's den. It's gonna be dope as fuck, dude.
well, I'm setting it up so I can do music videos
Okay.
in that area.
That's
And
cool.
the next
Is there a lot of call for Dungeons and Dragon themed videos in Vermont?
nah, I'm pretty niche, yo.
Yeah, I dig it. Like, man, let's make this happen.
Oh boy.
So after the Stir Crazy CD and hopefully comic book, which I'm still working on just the writing part, but an EP that's like a Celtic, druidic, like story driven type. We're gonna talk about like God damn, that mushroom that was the reindeer eat.
Oh, okay. You gotta go back
Flyagorous
to
or
the
something like that.
Yeah.
Where's Pangy when I need him? He's the one that did the episode
Yeah,
of Free Market
that
Screen Earth on
episode.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're gonna have a song about that, but I'm gonna try and get all actually, speaking of, I'm gonna need some stems of like different instruments and stuff. And hey, we're live. Not really, but hey Nikki, what's up? You down for some?
You need some
He's
stems?
doing his like,
Yeah.
you gotta help a brother out.
We'll see what we can
Right.
do.
All right. Word. So yeah,
Hook me up, man.
I'm just I'm looking for different musicians that play a range of instruments for stems, and then I'm gonna have Stir Crazy because he's on top of things, arrange everything, and Stir Crazy and Underground Hustlers, Intrinsic, put arrange all the music, and I'll just rap to it, come up with the concepts.
Nice. So
I'm loving it.
How did you come across Stir Crazy?
Underground Hustlers, Intrinsic. I heard about Underground Hustlers like 10 years ago or something, and I was like, wow, this could be a pretty good way to get my music out to the masses and stuff, because there's people from all, like, not just all over the US, but in some cases all over the world. And when you're on a Underground Hustlers CD, you get at least 20 copies. I get more like 100 or so, and then you can distribute it, but your song goes out to all over the place.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's the idea of
Cool.
a comp.
Yeah.
Comps are cool.
Yeah.
That's a punk rock thing. We used to do that shit back in the day. So, well, right on, man. Well, is there
yeah?
No, go on. You can go on.
No, I've just recently been the executive producer on a couple of those, the latest ones, which basically means I can
give them money.
Yeah, I'm one of the biggest fundraisers for them, and I get like last say and design creative license, I guess.
Nice.
But, yeah,
Making the magic happen.
Especially the latest ones, Magic Ninja Entertainment.
Making the magic mushrooms happen, apparently.
Yeah. Well, I'll be on a vinyl, Underground Hustlers 70, hosted by Axe. They're from Ohio. Azul, I can't fucking say their name. It's a weird ass like voodoo shit.
I like voodoo.
Okay.
Long live evil. But
oh, Irma's like, wait, what? Was that a Descendants reference? Hold on.
She would ask that question.
Yep.
But yeah.
Right on, boss. Well, there anything else you want to pitch to the audience while we got you here? Lizzie is actually going to have to get her ass to bed pretty quick here.
just looking forward to releasing the hashtag Free Ross song March 27th. It is available for pre-order, which if the pre-orders are high or whatever, it helps with the ranking and shit. So that'd be cool.
And it all goes to help Free Ross. It's not
Free
going
Ross,
into your weed fund either.
100%.
Yep.
100%.
Can we
Cool.
send you weed instead? I mean, because I'd
That'd
like
be
the money
hard
to be
for me to transfer.
That's true. You can't really give that to Ross where he is, unfortunately.
Well, I know, but I feel like he needs
Well.
to get something out of this. He's doing something, worthwhile to help brother out.
I mean,
it shouldn't have to do that clear-headed. Watching
hopefully
all that,
we
watching all the money.
Get to...
He's a capitalist, watching all that money come in and have to go to somebody else, man. That's just not fair.
I pledged
Hopefully
it.
we all get the value of seeing some good stuff happen for Ross. So
Yeah, make
Clemency.
some
I feel like
change
that'd be worth it.
happen.
Clemency
Yes.
is all he's got at this point. Basically, a Hail Mary pass to somebody comes in and says you're free.
Yep.
He's been shut down at every step of the appeal process because he scares the shit out of him. That's it.
So yeah, they just need to send some tweets out to Trump or Jenner there. No, what's her name?
Oh, good God.
West. What's her name? West.
Yeah. I know who you mean.
I'm glad I don't know.
Kanye West chick.
It's because you're calling her West. It's Kardashian West, right?
Yes. But she got, somebody.
Yeah, Kim.
Somebody
There
released.
you go. Yeah.
Kim.
They're Armenian, aren't they?
I don't know.
They're like the same ethnicity as Tom Woods.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I never would have thought of that.
Yeah.
We just had like the trifecta of like talking about different podcasts.
Right? They're all in here.
Nice. So
yeah. So, but
all right.
TylerColford.com is where you can see what I'm all about. Kinda.
No, I think the best place what you actually do is you go and you get yourself behind the scenes of the Lions of Liberty.
Oh boy, yeah, go to Patreon
and then you see what Tyler's really about. Give them money, and then you just get to watch Tyler come in and pass out in the middle of an interview.
Good times.
What were we doing that you came in and just like in the middle of a conversation, just like I'll be right back, and then like an hour later you were still gone.
And everything was on too, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He said he'll be back. Like his camera's still running. I don't know what we're gonna do about that. Whatever.
I think I passed out on the couch downstairs.
I think that's what we talked about eventually. You're like, yeah. I just took a nap, and when I came back, it was off.
It was just so comfy.
Can't blame you. Couches are comfy.
Yeah.
I nap on mine fairly frequently.
But I got rid of it. It's in the dumpster. And
Why?
I got a gamer chair. I don't know. Well, it was flaking. It was one of those leather ones.
Okay.
Gross.
Leather. Yeah.
I hate leather couches. They're terrible.
But I got a gamer chair and it's so stiff. But it has speakers in the headrest.
Nice.
They make headphones and then you have speakers literally on your head.
Yeah.
But it's not in a chair. It's like a whole experience. Like your body's been cradled by gaming.
To
me, they look too much like those eggs from the 70s.
It's kind of like that, but it doesn't have the shell.
Have you ever watched the Venture Brothers episode where he's sitting in the egg, listening to records, and I believe he's listening to Yes, and then King Crimson is the other one he's listening to in it.
It sounds familiar, but I haven't watched Venture Brothers in ages.
Well, that's your fucking loss, brother. Show just gets better when it comes back every 3 years.
I was gonna say they haven't done a new one in a while.
It's been a year or two. I think we're actually due for another one in another year or two. They'll be back. I have faith. They still have Koreans hand draw that shit. So
there you go.
So, all right, Tyler, thank you so much for coming on and having a conversation with us.
Thanks for having me.
It's Bootstraps is the most recent one, and the Free Ross song's coming out in March. You said
March 27th. It's his birthday.
nice.
Oh,
Well,
nice.
we were waiting with bated breath for everyone who's not me to hear that.
Right on.
Good night.
Take it easy, bud.
Thanks, Tyler.
I'm all to blame, like puppets to their strings. In the sand hits the wall and divides. Once again the lights go down. The past is growing thin. Let the horror show begin. Pleasure, my pleasure, voice resounds. Cover your tracks today.
All right, babe. So, what do you think of that one? Was that another good one for there?
Always good when you have Tyler Colford on. And I love his ad. I don't even know if I mentioned that to him in that interview. But I love his ad, the Lions of Liberty ad. It's so charming. It's so Tyler. I'm just like, yes.
I mean, literally, I want to do an ad for the Lions of Liberty that's just, hey, you should join the Pride, so occasionally you can see Tyler so drunk that he forgets that you're in a call. That to me is some of the joys of being in the Lions of Liberty patron group is that like it's a pretty tight knit community. They got some good folk in there.
They
Obviously,
really do.
that's actually how I know Ben Pangy, who I do Free Market Screen Earth with, and I met him in there. But
I mean, all those dudes are just like the actual Lions are actually really cool dudes. Honestly, in my experience, anyway.
yeah, no, they are. They're genuine dudes. They've definitely gone out of the way to help us in times when they didn't have to do that, and I will be forever indebted to them. And considering like some of the attitude I've gotten from like much smaller podcasters occasionally has been,
Right.
it leads me to respect them a little bit more. In general, things are pretty good though.
For sure.
Occasionally you get an attitude and you're like, especially when like so much of my own involvement in podcasting is helping to promote new podcasters, which maybe I should pitch. So I have to work on the website to hopefully today, probably next week. I'll get some actual time to work on it. I'm still trying to dig out of this debt hole this week. But liberpods.com is kind of undergoing a makeover of sorts, and I'm setting it up as a way to like go out and actually advertise for libertarian podcasts. I'm still planning on doing the podcast itself, but I'm actually setting up a way to get your videos featured on other small podcasters. It's also going to hopefully be a way that I can help smaller podcasts make some money through other small podcasts.
Very cool idea.
If you go to liberpods.com, it'll explain out what I plan on doing there. If you're a small podcaster that wants to make some money, there's options for you there. And if you're a small podcaster that wants to help get word out about your show, honestly, at this point, perhaps it's going to grow if I can get the community to grow the way I want it to. But the big thing is that I'm going to be focusing on podcasters with less than 1,000 downloads a month. That's kind of my goal. So if you are a podcaster with less than 1,000 downloads a month, and you want to get a bigger audience or want to help yourself make some money, get a little income coming in, even if it's just enough income to send them back out to get yourself advertised on other shows, let me know. Liberpods.com. Go check it out. Anything else we had to cover this week, babe?
I think that's pretty much it for right now. But yeah. You can always find us on the socials, and you could go to peacefreaks.com. You could spell it either way. You'll get to us. And just tell us what you like and what's working for you and what you'd like to see, because we really would love to put more content out that you guys want to hear.
Yeah, for real. I'm still working on. I got to redo our intro with the actual like premise of the show, which is officially fuck the culture war. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of people talking about it. I'm sick of people caring about it.
Yeah.
Stop buying into this left versus right nonsense.
I just want my friends to be my friends. Like, and I'm so sick of like looking at posts on Facebook where people are just starting shit over dumb shit. Like, let's just all be cool. Be excellent to each other, okay?
I'm excited that movie is coming out.
Me too. maybe people will get the message.
I don't
hope.
know how it's gonna be without what's his name, but I mean, I'm hoping for the best. I like Alex Winter a lot.
Me too.
A lot of people don't know Alex Winter, very, very involved in the modern like internet security conversation. He actually has done did a documentary about it. He also did he did a documentary about the Silk Road too.
Interesting.
Did you know Alex Winter was a documentarian, Liz?
I feel like it came up on the show like a long time ago. And I never did actually look into that. So I feel like I should watch that documentary now.
Okay. So, anyways, I think we're gonna call it for this week, folks. That was episode number, was it 89?
Yep.
Episode number 89 of Peace Freqs with Tyler Colford. Take it easy.
Make it magical.
Peace. This podcast is a proud creation of the Mad Audio Lab. For more information, check out madaudiolab.com. Peace Freqs is part of the Liberty Hippie Podcast Network. If you like what we do, be sure to check out Homesteads and Homeschools, Free Markets Green Earth, Cannabis Heals Me, and This Week in Liberpods. We're living proof that libertarian doesn't mean washed up Republican.